They are repairing the wounds from Superstorm Sandy at Kimball's Beach along the Delaware Bay. Officials from the Coastal Research Center at Richard Stockton College are setting the boundaries for a beach replenishment project here. The idea is to mark the top and bottom of the slope where the sand will be placed.
So what this is doing is we're setting the elevation grades for the slope that the contractor is going to fill to. So the orange mark down at the bottom is the elevation of the sand he's going to push to. This is at this end of the fill, we're near what we call the taper. So we're at basically where the fill is coming to an end. And if there's a stake back there, when he gets back to that point, he won't be putting any additional sand there at all. So from here on out is where the majority of the sand is going to be placed. It's called RTK GPS system. It uses what's called a smart network to locate itself with the satellites. So we get real-time corrected information. It's accurate to about a centimeter elevation and horizontally.
These beaches are key spawning habitat for horseshoe crabs. The crab population and the numbers of red knots that feed on the crab eggs have plummeted in recent years. Hurricane Sandy took away a large section of this beach.
It's the worst it's been. I've been working on the bay since the early 80s, and this is the worst it's been. It's taken away. We estimated on an aerial survey about 60-70% of all the good habitat. So this is if we didn't correct this, we would have ended up like 2003, and 2003 was a complete disaster for crabs and birds. So that's what we're trying to avoid.
About 50 truckloads of sand a day will be brought in to complete this $1 million project. It's all part of an effort between conservation groups and government agencies.
I mean, this is a tremendous effort with lots and lots of moving pieces. We have 4 principal organizations doing the conservation work. We had to get funding both nationally and locally from corporate partners. We had to get permits from the Army Corps of Engineers, from the state of New Jersey, permission from all the landowners to come and do the work on the beach. So it's been a tremendous effort. And the fact that we've done it all within the space of about a month and a half is also testimony just to the fact everybody's pulled together and gotten this thing going.
Before the sand can be plowed into place, debris that was uncovered by the storm must be removed. The Cape May County Mosquito Control Commission has taken away 40 tons of material as part of the cleanup.
There was remnants of old bulkheads, lots of old wood sticking out of the sand. That all had to be removed first because that would impinge or impede the movement of the crabs. And then after that we started working on a lot of concrete rubble that had been dumped here for various reasons. And so we're in the process now of just finishing up removing all of these large chunks of concrete.
They're facing a tough deadline here. The sand must be in place before the end of April when the horseshoe crabs will arrive.
Yeah, we're trying to beat the Mother Nature's clock here because the crabs are going to come in and spawn very likely at the end of April this year because the bay's water is warmer than normal, and so that the crab spawning in part depends on the water temperature. So that's what we're up against. There's nothing going to alter that. And so we have to get the beach in shape before the crabs start to spawn. And so one of the things we're trying to do, and I think we're going to be successful, is get the sand on before the spring tides of early April. Spring tide is when the high tide is higher than normal, and just because of the moon, effects of the moon. And so we want that spring tide to wash over our work so that it'll settle things down, make it conform to the natural contours of the beach, and maybe change the density of the sands, make them more aerated. So that's what we're hoping, is get everything done in the early spring tides of April so that by the late spring tides of April, the crabs, when they come ashore, will have the best that we can offer.